David Knight from Infowars.com here with Dr. Randy Short. I wanted to talk to you. You mentioned during the press conference that you saw Danney's picture when he was a child, and you've been watching this for a very long time. All these people in the press who want to say, why are you doing this a week before the election? This isn't a week before the election. This has been going on for a long time. Tell us how you first found out about this.
I saw a picture of a baby I thought was my cousin in a tabloid, and I bought it, and it turned out to be not my cousin, but Danney Williams. This was like 1992. And I looked at the baby, and this is his. There was a picture with a T-shirt that said, Bill Clinton's blank, D word, is going to keep him out of the White House. And I kept that for years, but it looked just like him. It looked like Bill Clinton with sort of black baby hair. And
so tell me, what's your feeling about this? This has gone on now for decades. So how do you feel about this?
It's gone on too long. Bill Clinton needs to man up. He needs to be consistent with the laws, the deadbeat dad law he passed, the father work law he's passed, the challenge for people to be responsible as fathers, as well as the conversation on race he initiated 20 years ago with my friend Dr. John Hope Franklin. He needs to be about the talk that he's made. He needs to walk it, and Danney is worth it. I mean, they have beautiful grandchildren. You know, there's no reason that he can't do that. There's no
That's
reason.
what I said to Danney. I said, you know, Bill Clinton has missed out on something he doesn't even realize, and that is knowing Danney's children.
Absolutely.
Because Danney is the kind of guy who has stepped up,
Beautiful
and
person.
even though he didn't have a father, whether Bill Clinton is his father or not, he has stood in the gap. He has established a pattern there, and that's what men across this country, white and black, need to do. We got everybody in this country is having issues with fathers. No father is perfect, okay, and that's the key thing. But what would you say to people who talk about this? I mean, we hear all the time the mainstream media that is still pushing against this story. They always talk about white privilege. What about the Clintons' privilege?
Well, the Clintons are white, using white privilege while claiming as liberal progressive Democrats that they're better. And I always contrast the Clintons with Strom Thurmond. Senator Strom Thurmond from South Carolina had a black daughter, and he took care of her. The old white Dixiecrats that were called segregationists, they took care of their children. How could these guys be such devils because they're Republican, and the Democrat be a saint when they're not doing one thing for these children? In fact, I feel kind of sad if you understand that you've got mass incarceration that Bill Clinton and Hillary brought in, and all these other policies that are very dangerous to black youth, and then you have an unloved, unfathered, unnurtured child, and that you've released a child into hell.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen the same thing happen not only with Strom Thurmond with a black child, but we see Arnold Schwarzenegger doing that with a child that he had with his Hispanic maid. Okay, coming forward and admitting that that's his child, now establishing a relationship with him. It seems to me that the Clintons many times will lie when the truth would serve them better.
Yes, this is exactly right. And you know, Bill Clinton has missed out on a delightful son. He still has a chance to really do something right in his life. Yeah. And even America, we're missing out. You know, I met Danney in the context of doing DNA. I learned I'm part Danish. I have a family in Denmark I need to meet. We miss out as human beings not knowing one another. And I believe that Bill Clinton would be enriched to know his son. I believe Americans would be enriched to know how beautiful it is to be diverse, to know who we are, and a totality, not just how we look. I don't look Danish, but I'm part. We should do that because it makes us whole. We need to be united as a country.
Exactly. And let me talk about that, too, because so many times when Hillary Clinton talks about diversity, she uses it in a way that is divisive.
Right.
And as you point out,
this would black votes.
Exactly. This would unify people in a tapestry, white and black. Look, here's the white president embracing his black son, and yet they would prefer to have a situation of black versus white, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. And, you know, contrast it with the Bushes, no matter what you say. George P. Bush, whose mother's Latino, they embrace him in the Bush family. There are precedents for people embracing children who come from different ethnic backgrounds. The Clintons, who claim to be progressive, have been far more regressive than the Republicans.